Hi everyone, this is Michael Davis, and this is my Week 3 submission for instructive speech. Many of you have probably heard the old saying about a bad day fishing still being better than a good day at work. While I can't necessarily dispute that logic, even as someone who loves to fish, a day of fishing without catching anything can still be completely frustrating. So I'm going to talk to you today about one of my favorite types of fishing, which is shad fishing. Shad fishing is great for taking small kids, people who have never had a chance to fish, and people who maybe don't have a lot of time to fish. When the fish are migrating, the action is very fast, meaning you get a lot of bites and catch a lot of fish. It's great for kids with short attention spans, and it's easy fishing. Literally, you just cast, retrieve, and repeat. So there are still three keys, I think, to being successful in shad fishing. Those are going at the right time of the year, being in the right place, and having at least a small amount of the right kind of gear to go. So that's what we're going to talk more about now. We have basically two types of species of shad that migrate up the coastal rivers in North Carolina. Those are the hickory and the American shad. And those are both considered to be anadromous species. In other words, they are born in the freshwater. They migrate down the coastal rivers to the saltwater, live their adult lives there, and then migrate back into the freshwater rivers to spawn. And that's when we catch them. So we've got a variety of coastal rivers that you can catch those in. For me locally, it's primarily the Neuse River, the Tar River, and the Roanoke River. But they can be caught in virtually every coastal North Carolina river and their tributaries. A boat can be used, but it's not at all necessary. There's a lot of good opportunities for fishing from the bank. There are a lot of city parks that are available to fish from. There are a lot of fishing access areas that have been created by the state. So again, lots of access, lots of opportunities for people, and with the amount of rivers, there are plenty of opportunities for basically everyone in the eastern part of the state to go. So one of the other keys is, of course, timing. So if you go too early, or if you go too late, you might catch a few. That's always possible, but you'll probably be doing a lot more fishing than catching. For taking small kids, for example, or if you can only go for a small amount of time, you're really going to want to hit it around the peak of the migration. That usually falls between sometime in early to mid-March and early April. The shads can be caught as early as January. There's at least some caught in January every year, but they're relatively few and far between. You can usually count on the last couple of weeks of March to really be the best of it. That's when I used to take my girls when they were young. And the great thing was they usually ended up wanting to come in not because they were bored, but because their arms were tired from reeling in fish. So that's how you really get youngsters excited to go fishing. The other thing that you're going to need, of course, is some equipment. Again, as I said earlier, you don't even need a boat, but you are going to need at least, some small amount of the right stuff. So myself personally, I typically like a spinning rod configuration, but basically any rod and reel will work. This, for example, would be one of the type that I would use, just your traditional spinning rod setup. My wife and daughters, they actually prefer I like to call them the old Zebco spin casts. Do very well with those, very successful. The other thing, really the key thing, is probably more around the baits. So I'm going to try to show these. Let's see, pardon me, I can't get the camera to flip. As you can see, they come in a wide variety of colors, all different types of baits. But basically, primarily, while I have a lot of different ones, there's only a few you need. Really, one of the traditional ones is the silver spoons that you'll see. These small, chrome silver spoons. That's one of the standbys, and of course another traditional would be these red and white little, we call them shad darts. Those are primarily the only things that you really need. So with a couple of those in the right spot at the right time of the year, you can have a really good time. So with that, again, I have hopefully given you enough basic information that you could go out and go fishing if you would like. I'd say it's probably worth your time to going. It's a whole lot of fun. And I'll leave you with the old saying, take a kid fishing. Thanks.